This is a Headgum podcast.
Hello and welcome to Perfect Person, the show where I'm perfect and you're a person. This morning I had a maple scone.
Feeling a little silly this morning.
I was having a fun little day. And it was raining and I wore a big coat. And that was sort of, I give an object or a sort of example of why I'm perfect today.
And that's it?
Yeah, that was kind of it.
No, that's great. I love that.
No, it's cool. The guest is often unimpressed with sort of my little perfect.
It feels perfect. A nice little rainy day scone.
It was a rainy day scone. And as always, this is the call and advice show that's going to make you flawless, of course. And I'm here with Stanzi Potenza. Stanzi, you know her from TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Reels. Let's not forget about
Reels.
Mark Zuckmuch. Stanzi, thanks for doing the show.
Thank you for having me. This is super cool and exciting.
That's very sweet of you. Yeah, your content very much makes me laugh. It's right up my alley.
Oh, good.
You're often doing like, one of my favorite things about your content is I feel like you will do like the dumbest bit and it'll be so cinematic. And like the way that you edit stuff together with your voice overlapping, speaking to yourself, it's flawless. It's perfect.
Thank you. I love having a really like dumb idea and being like, how can I make this like, how can I give this like emotional arc?
Yeah.
Like sometimes people will comment on something and they'll be like, I forgot that this was a joke for a second and I actually had like a genuine like human emotional moment.
Yeah.
And it's about like, you know, like a mommy kink gone too far.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. And it's like the background music.
Yeah,
it's like,
right.
I'm like, how do I make this like a little bit of a tearjerker?
Yeah.
There's a thin line between comedy and tragedy, and I like to constantly remind people of that.
That's absolutely right. Do you shoot, also you shoot almost all your stuff on a green screen, right? Mm-hmm. And then you're like in a million different places. You sort of put yourself in like a torture dungeon or the hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I keep it variety, keep it a little spicy. You never know what you're going to get.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Stanzi, so people are calling in from all over the freaking world and they need help.
Yeah, they do.
What qualifies you as a perfect person to give them guidance today?
I don't know. I mean, I do know. But like, how do I convince them?
Yeah,
I think I've had so much life experience. I've had a lot of problems. I used to be the kid in school that would like, the guidance counselors would be like, hey, there's someone else who's struggling right now. Can you give them a little bit of a pep talk? Just
really?
Because, yeah, it would be like, you know why? It was because I started the sort of like emo, like the little emo alt movement in my town back in the day.
That's incredible.
Like back in like the early 2000s.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm goth now. And that happened like that. And someone was like, I was just sitting around friends in like sixth grade and they were like, okay.
Okay, cool. You
And
shepherded the goth movement at your middle school.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And so then other kids started doing it but they were like, they needed a little bit of help. So I was the one that was like, yeah, it's okay to be a little weirdo. I had a little Cole Sprouse moment. Can I just light a cigarette in here right now? Just being like,
yeah. After seeing that Alex Cooper interview, which by the way, the funniest thing about that to me was that, okay, look, people smoke cigarettes, go for it. I've smoked cigarettes in my life, of course, enjoy. But if you're going to smoke a sober cigarette inside during the daytime,
you need to be a really specific type of person for that.
You need to be Cole Sprouse.
Yeah. I honestly, like, if Timothée Chalamet did that, I'd be like, ooh. If Matty Healy from the 1975 did that, I'd be like, yeah, that makes
he's kissing everybody.
sense. I know, he's just
he's kissing people
kissing
out there.
that menthol,
Yeah, right.
Cole Sprouse, I was like, oh my God, I'm a weirdo.
Maybe we honestly should have a cigarette in here as to get that clipped of you as Cole Sprouse. Yeah. Honestly,
a bigger cigarette.
It's huge.
A huge cigarette.
Massive cigarette. Well, yeah, you're obviously very funny. I appreciate you doing the show. Before we get into the calls, before we get into the meat and bones, I'm introducing a new segment today.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Everybody's thrilled about it.
Woo!
We're doing a get rich quick scheme segment. Okay, we get
Perfect.
hundreds of thousands of calls a freaking day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
That's
is
right. That's right.
I hope I'm qualified for this.
Ira Glass who? So, so I wanted to surmise some of the calls and do sort of quick hits. This is a rapid fire round. Try to get the people where they need to go.
All right.
I get a lot of these calls. Firstly, what's the best way to kiss?
The best way to kiss?
Yeah.
Violently.
Incredible. Fervently. Yeah. Okay, next question. Have you ever stolen anything?
Yes.
What'd you steal?
Eyeliner from just like any sort of CVS. And I used to steal gum out of my mom's workplaces, like vending machines. It's the like.
Oh, you'd reach up?
Yeah, that's the like having little like raccoon doll hands.
Yeah,
like tiny little
doll hands.
Oh, really? It works really well when you're trying to like. I was like Robin Hood. Yeah. I would like get all of the gum out. Like I could reach up to the gum and get all of the gum out, and then I would bring it to school. And I would open my purse and like
sell it to the goth kids.
Everyone would be like, "Oh, she's brought us gum." Like the village, I was like the Robin Hood of my class.
You were like Chiclets Robin Hood.
I'm just feeding. Yeah, I'm just like feeding a village.
Wow, honestly, that's huge. Yeah, I used to steal pens, and unfortunately, it was from sort of a locally owned.
Oh no!
Which obviously I was a kid, so I didn't know that was bad. But yeah, we'd sort of take the nice pens because we were like, let's freaking listen to Vampire Weekend and write in our notebooks. Yeah, we're bad. We're bad.
Nice.
We're bad kids. Best way to break up with someone.
Faking your own death. I was like, where is he going?
Yeah, which button is he going to press? Is it cringe to be joyful?
No, I think it's lovely. I think it's cringe to be like too bitter.
I agree.
Yeah.
By the way, there's a lot of people out there that think it's cool to be miserable.
I think it's actually so cringe. I think especially the transition from New York to LA that I've just recently made. I'm like, oh my God, wow. Especially just spending some time in Boston recently.
Yeah.
Where it's like peak like misery.
People are miserable in Boston.
Oh yeah. I mean the weather's terrible. It makes sense.
In New York too. It's like the winter's fucking hell.
Awful. So like the people there are just like I made a new friend recently, but he has this sort of like personality of just like, oh God, everything's just like terrible. It's just not going my way. And he'll like drop his like shirt on the ground and he's like, oh, it's just like a metaphor for my life. I'm like, yeah. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, your life sucks.
You gotta pick it up.
My life rules.
Yeah, I rock
like,
out
pick
here.
up your blouse and just like get a grip, okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, we're fine. We're gonna be okay. Just like get a little maple scone in you.
Absolutely.
And move on with your day, man.
Yeah, I remember when I moved from New York, I like went on a walk and it was sunny and there were palm trees and I was like, I don't know, I'm like too happy. I feel like being in New York, you're just like, yeah, how did I get to work? Well, someone shoved me on the subway and spit in my face.
You're like, I'm walking in.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God.
I'm New Yorking in.
I'm New Yorking in. Yeah. Like on my way here on my Uber, I get in, he's like, oh, is for Stanzi? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, excellent. I'm going to get you to where you need to go. And I'm like,
who are you?
I'm like, whoa, it's crazy.
Wow.
Be joyous. It's not cringe at all.
I think you're brave for saying that.
Thank you.
What happens when you die? We'll end with this one. And it's, again, this is quick. This is supposed to be rapid fire.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I talk so much.
No. Just for this question. The other ones were rapid as hell.
I think that you go into a like grocery store that's like Twin Peaks.
I love that.
Yeah.
Sort of a grocery store purgatory.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, that about does it for the get rich quick scheme.
Amazing.
Incredible. And we're about to get to the phone lines because the phone's ringing off the damn hook, Stanzi.
Oh, wow.
And people know this, but if you like the show, you can like and subscribe it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or whatever. And if you love the show, you can freaking join the Patreon where there's extended versions of every episode, including this one, where we talked exclusively about Stanzi's big move.
Hell yeah. Exclusive content, you guys.
That's right. As well as a gate-kept, honestly, I'll say it, show, Perfect Person Platinum, where it's wilder and it's weirder and there's a masterclass. And I also give guest updates to people that I've solved their problems and they're calling. I call them back and be like, how did my advice change your life? How did I guide you to salvation, but in a
like,
non-religious
well, I'm in
way.
jail now.
Yeah, exactly. I did start a cult. But let's get into it with the first voicemail here.
Hi, Miles. I basically have to decide whether or not I want to be in very close quarters with my high school bully for the next 2 years. I got into a grad school. She got into the same grad school in the same 10-person program as me and has since been like messaging me saying like she wants to reconnect, and I'm just scared of her because she was mean to me, and I would appreciate some advice. Like, yeah.
Still being bullied by your high school bully in grad school.
Yikes.
Yeah, that's a big yikes.
So it's grad school also. So that means
Post-college.
Post-college.
So it's been a while. It's been like a 4-year
yeah.
stint. Although that being said, if I saw like my high school bully now, I would be just as mad as like when I was in high school. Because I just like, I don't think that those feelings go away. And my high school bully is a doctor now. I know that. And it burdens me to my core.
How do we get his license taken away?
I've thought about it.
Or she. It could be a lady bully.
Yeah, the doctor was his mother. The bully was his mother. No, I mean, I've thought about it. And it's like, obviously, this is the darker thought is like, I'm going to fucking tweet about tweet his name. Because now I have,
dox him.
Yeah, I'm going to dox my high school bully because now I have some sort of social capital. And it's just like, that's such a dumb idea and I should never do that. But it does drive me mad. Anyway, did you have a high school bully?
High school, no. It was more middle school for me.
Yeah, sure.
Because I started the goth movement.
And that's hard. It's hard for goth kids.
Yeah, so, tough time to be emo.
I was never brave enough to be emo, to be goth, but I wanted it. And I remember I told this story before, but I had some sort of like angsty songs on my iPod, and I was so worried. This is kind of sad, but I was so worried I was going to be made fun of that I had the song Teenagers by My Chemical Romance, and I put it under a different artist name because I was so worried I was going to be made fun of.
What artist?
I don't even know. I think I made up a name. Johnny Guitar. I don't know, like something. I just made up a name because I was so worried. I was like, somebody's going to see my iPod Nano and they're going to fucking...
Someone who's never heard Teenagers before got your iPod and they were like, oh my God, Johnny Guitar. This is incredible. Why is no one talking about Johnny Guitar?
He rules. Yeah, what the fuck?
He's amazing.
Anyway, let's call this person back to get to the root of the issue here.
Hello?
Hello. Thank you for calling Perfect Person. I'm here to call you back.
Oh my God.
I'm here with Stanzi Potenza.
Hi. Oh my gosh.
Hi. Hello.
So it seems like you have a high school bully problem in grad school. Now, tell me what your situation is. And I'm also curious where what your program is.
Oh, okay. So actually, I'm from your hometown.
Oh my gosh, you're from Hillsborough?
I'm from Chapel Hill, but I'm basically from Hillsborough.
I'll give it to you. I mean, I spent a lot of time in Chapel Hill as well. North Carolina, come on and raise up.
Oh, I'm at UNC right now. I
Nice.
got into a program. I don't know if I should say the program's name. But yeah, so
Gotcha.
I got into this other program, and it's a 10-person program. And one of the people who got in was my high school bully, but she's also still friends with my best friend from high school.
Oh, okay.
Very complicated. And she said some like fat phobic things about me. She was never directly mean to me, but she was like mean to me in front of other people and like said horrible things about me.
Yeah.
And now she like just messaged me on Instagram and was like, hey, I heard we got into the same program. And I'm like, I haven't responded. I don't know even if I can like go to this program now because she's going to be there. And like, yeah, it's crazy.
Okay, well, first of all, I wouldn't narrow your opportunities because this person's a fucking dickhead. Like, I wouldn't, if you're not going to go there, that's fine. But I wouldn't be like, I'm not going to go there because of my high school bully. Because if anything, you've now got dirt on this person. It's embarrassing to be a bully.
It's embarrassing to be a bully now. It is not cool.
No.
It's not cool anymore.
It's not like the 90s, okay? It was cool to be a bully back then. Yeah, I think that you need to like... I mean, so this person said like fat phobic shit and was just a general nuisance. Like, that's kind of what it was?
Yeah, me and my best friend, we're still really close friends. She's going to be one of my bridesmaids. But we had like a crush on each other freshman year.
Oh.
And this other girl who was the bully was jealous that we had crushes on each other. Like, she's just like, she's like really possessive of this person who is also my friend. And I think that's where the anger came from. But I don't know if, like, it happened for 4 years. I don't know if that anger and like obsessiveness is still there. But like, this is my top choice for the program. I just like, what do I do when I get there and have to interact with this person?
So you have sort of a angel and a devil on your shoulder here. Because to me, the devil on your shoulder wants me to tell you to go to the program and talk shit about this person and like leech darkness into the program.
Choose darkness.
Choose darkness. So everyone gets mad at her and is like, oh my God, you used to like say fucked up stuff. But then I'm also like, maybe this person hurt people.
So true. So true. I mean, there are definitely, as someone that had some bullies in middle school, and then grew up to be like pretty cool and chill. I've had people like reach out to me, whether it be like male bullies who are like, hey, it would be really fun if we dated. I'm like, you egged my house, actually.
That's crazy.
So no.
Yeah.
But I also had someone that like I didn't get along with too well when I was a kid. But I met her last time I came to LA and we went out for drinks and oh my God, we had an amazing time. So I think that it depends on, I mean, I think it's definitely a case by case situation, but if this person reached out, you know, maybe that's her way of trying to like make amends. It's obviously a small program. And if this is your top choice, I definitely think that you should not, you know, restrict yourself because this person is going there. But like, maybe it's something to just like address, just kind of like be kind of upfront about it. That's how I usually handle things now. It's just kind of like, let's get this out of the way so there's no weirdness, and then we can move on and we can just be in this program together and be normal. You don't have to be best friends, but you know, especially if you have a pretty close mutual friend.
I feel the same way where it's like, I can't interact with somebody if there's some like big dirt that we're not discussing. It makes me feel so uncomfortable. And I don't need to like, I don't know. I don't need to hash everything out in a crazy way. I think I just need to sort of be, if there's like some weird falling out that happened a long time ago and it's like now we're in the same place, I need to be like, hey, that was crazy, right? Like, I just need
that was pretty crazy.
That was pretty wild, right?
To me.
We both made weird decisions. Like, I think it makes me so uncomfortable to just have small talk. Do you feel like you could address it with this person and it would go okay? I guess if there's issues in freshman year, that's kind of recent too.
We were 14 and I'm 20 now. I am like the opposite of confrontational. So I feel like I'm going to be too nice to her and we're going to end up being friends and I'm going to be friends with someone I don't want to be friends with.
Yeah, that's true too. Like, you don't have to be friends with this person, but it might require less work to be nice to them. I think about that all the time where there's lots of people that I feel have wronged me in this world. I've got a little black book.
Me too, pal. Me too.
But like, sometimes I see people around and I'm just like, yeah, I don't necessarily care for you, but like, it's gonna affect my mood in life in a negative way for me to like be a jerk or something, and for me to go out of the way to be like, get out of my house, like
later, loser.
Yeah, like,
but if you don't want to be friends with this person, if you just want to, you know, maybe just kind of clear the air and not necessarily like, you know, form a friendship, and you're not very confrontational, I feel like it just sort of, you know, when that happens with me, and I don't really want to have to tell this person like, hey, I do not want to I'm not in the market for new friends right now. You know,
friendship market's closed.
Yeah, we're not accepting new applications.
That's right.
You know, just if they're messaging you, just don't message them back, at least right away. You don't have to like ghost them, but just sort of like don't be overly friendly.
Yeah. Sorry I didn't message you back. I was too busy crushing it.
Having other friends
that are so cool.
Who were never mean to me at some point in my life.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It would be hard. It does seem also that bullies come in different shapes and sizes. Like, it's not like this person shoved you up. Here we go. Motion sensor light. Okay. So it's what happened? The people come through the ceiling.
It's the bully.
It's the bully. But yeah, it's like she didn't necessarily shove you up against a wall and say mean things about your family.
And she also Chapel Hill is a tiny place. I think probably I will go to this program and talk to her like she is a classmate. And yeah, I just need to, you gave me permission to I don't know, not worry about it.
Yeah, I give you permission. I relinquish you of your struggles.
You're free.
You're free.
Fly.
Flight.
Thank you so much for calling in, and you have a fantastic day.
Thank you. You too. Love you guys.
All right, bye. Yeah.
Bullies.
Knock
it off.
Honestly, that's for real.
Stop
bullying. If you're out there and you're a bully, stop.
It's literally not trendy at all right now.
No, I do love in 21 Jump Street how Jenny.
I was thinking that is exactly where my mind went when.
Yeah, it's not cool anymore to be an asshole. Yeah, which is so funny. I mean, I'm sure the kids are still getting away with it. They just have therapy language now. So
they're just it's in a way they're bullying in a way that makes them feel morally superior, but it's right. It's not the old fashioned
The bullies are being you're being biphobic. Guys,
dox him.
Get him.
It's a more puritanical bullying.
Yeah, right.
Which is
it's a mental game.
Yeah, it's all up here. It's not back in the day.
Yeah,
no violence. You can't be fat phobic.
No, obviously
that's super not in or
no.
right
or right.
Not only is it not trendy.
Yeah,
it's also not right.
That's damn right.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let's take another call here. We've got someone who's also, I guess this is about their freshman year in college, but it's happening to them now.
Hey, Miles. Calling perfect person for some advice here. I'm a freshman in college, and I have an absolutely, insane roommate. I have some pretty crazy stories about it that I could share. But basically her boyfriend has moved in with us, so the three of us live together, and they're just constantly having sex. They think it's so funny when I walk in on them, which is constantly, I sleep in my car most nights. There's some really insane things happening there, and could really use some advice on how to navigate that the last few months of this year. So anyway, just calling for some perfect person advice. Thank you.
We just have to call her. This is so fucking crazy. I sleep in my car most nights. That is so tough.
Hello.
You called perfect person, and we're here to call you back.
Oh my God, no way. Hello.
What's going on in the background?
I'm maybe watching a 1-year-old child.
If you need to comfort the baby, that's okay.
He's hanging out. I'm practicing like you are with your new baby.
Oh, nice. Yeah. No, a shush. Honestly, babies like to be shushed, which is kind of funny because I don't like to be shushed.
I don't like being silenced.
Don't silence my baby. Let my baby talk.
I feel like most people don't like being silenced, but apparently the baby's very soothing.
Babies very much do. Well, tell us about your issue here without upsetting the... Do you want us to call you back?
That would be great, actually.
Well, I'm going to take a different call and I'm going to call you back.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
Okay, no problem. All right, bye.
Oh my God, the baby was like, I hate this fucking roommate situation.
Yeah, I know. She's like, it's really upsetting me.
It's been really hard for me.
We'll call her back in a second. I need to give her time to silence the baby.
Yeah. Silence the baby.
Don't silence babies, everybody.
Silence babies, not women.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Put that on a t-shirt.
Yeah.
I don't know what this even means, but here we go.
Hi, my problem is that my mother just got covered with gasoline at the gas station. Also, I'm going to a metal concert later. What do I wear?
What does that mean? What, my mom just got covered in gas?
Is she on fire?
I hope not. Maybe we can give her some tips on, well, I guess you don't drive, but maybe we can give her some tips on how to put gas in a car.
Yeah.
Hi.
You called perfect person about your mommy's gas problems.
Uh-huh.
And I'm here to call you back. I'm here with Stanzi Potenza. Hello. Now, tell me about your problem.
So my mom came home today covered in gasoline.
How?
The thing malfunctioned and it like got all over her and our car and the ground. She was also crying when she came home.
Oh no.
Pretty valid.
Yeah, if I got covered in gas, I'd be pretty upset.
Yeah.
We want to validate your mom's feelings here. Your mom, it's okay for your mom to be upset about the gas. And by the way, so what is your, like, did you try to comfort her? Do you need advice on how to be around mom when she has gas?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, she hopped in the shower.
Well, I'll tell you what. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to think about mommy's favorite things, and you're going to go ahead and do those things for her. Because mommy's tired, okay? As a new daddy with a wife who's a mommy, I'll tell you, mommy's probably tired. And if I came home covered in gas, I want my little baby to get me a treat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what does your mom
What
like?
would you recommend?
Well,
Nothing with fire.
Don't do a fiery
Yeah.
thing. Yeah. No torches.
No torches.
Yeah.
Stay away from candles for a little bit.
For a little bit. That's going to be a little intimidating. And the fumes are going to be a little bit wild. But what's your mom do? Like, what's her vibe?
She is a children's teacher. She has a lot of plants.
If mommy's got a lot of plants, then I think you might want to get her a little plant, or you could go for a water of her plants in a way. You could be a little water child.
That is fair.
Anyway, thanks for calling in.
We hope your mom is okay.
Yeah, we really hope your mom is okay. That's wild.
Thank you so much.
Gas is no joke. And then you had a second question about what to wear to the metal concert. And I feel like Stanzi's got a better recommendation than me. Because Stanzi's sort of cool and fashionable. And I'm not.
What are you seeing?
I'm seeing a local band. One of my friend's boyfriends is the bassist in it.
Nice. What's your wardrobe situation? What are you working with right now?
I am like cottagecore or grunge. So I have like no clue what to wear to like a metal concert.
Okay. I would definitely go the darker route.
Hell yeah.
You have any cool black articles of clothing?
Yeah. You've got very cool cigarette earrings.
I do. I sell these.
Those fucking rule, by the way.
Thank you.
They're
Thank
very
you.
cool.
But I'm just afraid that people are going to like judge me a little bit.
Don't you worry.
About them.
No, you know why? Because they're fucking worried that they're not looking cool enough.
Let me tell you something, and this was something that kind of altered my brain a little bit. I've always kind of been dressing little. We've talked about this a lot today. A little quirky, a little yeah. I have a lot of like cool, funky articles of clothing that I had not been wearing for like the past year, and I recently wore one in a video.
Yeah.
And my friend Brad was like, "That's a sick jacket. Why aren't you wearing that out?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't know. I just sort of like." I don't really dress flashy because I don't want like attention on me and I don't want people thinking about it. He's like, no, you got to start wearing those things. And I was like, you're right.
Yeah.
I do have to just start wearing cool stuff. And then I started doing that more recently, like wearing some of the cool stuff that I have.
Yeah.
And oh my God, people like, it's like not judgment. It's just people being like, wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Like
right.
I like don't expect people to like think the worst of you for like dressing a way that's different.
Totally.
You're going to crush it.
Yeah, you're going to fucking crush it. I also think that like that's so true that it being bold, any fashion choice that's bold, like people are going to be like impressed by that or interested in it.
Yeah.
I, for a long time, really did not. I think it's probably because, I was probably anxious or worried about like wearing something that I was going to look dumb in. But my lovely wife, Sarah, took me to this place called Corridor. Cool LA shop. Shout out. And a friend of ours worked there. And I bought like a bunch of new clothes because I had nothing. And never before in my fucking life have I had more compliments on my clothes. And by the way, the shirt I'm wearing right now is one of Sarah's maternity shirts.
I love it.
So yeah,
it's great.
Am I a fashionista?
Now you are.
Now I am maternista. So yeah, fucking be bold and wear something really cool. That kind of gets you out of your comfort zone a little bit, and you're like, this is a little wild for me, but it's gonna be worth it.
And here's the other thing: if if you don't feel comfortable dressing out of your element to, at this show, you don't have to.
Yeah.
And I don't think anyone's going to like judge you for that. If someone came up to you and they were like, what are you doing here? Doesn't seem like you belong here. Like, what loser would do? Like, they're the losers
crazy.
there.
That's so weird.
That would be a really weird thing to do to someone.
Yeah, 100%.
Thank you so much for calling me back.
No
Have
problem.
fun.
Be nice to your mom.
I will.
Have fun at the concert.
All right, bye.
Bye.
That was adorable.
Aww. I was like, oh my God, like they're the cute little, like, what should I wear? But then also like, mom's got a chemical burn.
That's crazy. It seemed like, it's like the gas pump exploded around her. Yeah, what a nightmare.
I kind of relate to that though, because we had like an oil spill when I was like in middle school, and like I didn't realize that my clothes had oil on it because I was so used to the smell of oil.
Oh yeah, sure.
And so like I was like one of those seagulls that's just like on the beach covered in oil. And then they had to send me home from school.
No way.
Yeah. I've never told that story before. Yeah.
What was the oil spill from? From your house?
Yeah, I was like in the basement or something. Like we had this major oil spill.
Oh my God. That's wild.
And so they were like, you have to take a shower and then you have to go home.
You smelled like oil.
Because I smelled like oil.
Was it like a hazard in your home because of the oil? Like flammable, like...
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah,
you were born from the flames.
Just like a phoenix from the ashes.
That's absolutely right. Wow.
But I never was on fire. I was just like
You're just oily.
Just an oily little seagull in a environmental commercial.
That's beautiful in a way.
It's so beautiful.
All right, let's call somebody else back here.
Hi, Miles. I recently moved from Florida to New York City, and I'm trying to be in my hoe era and like
good luck,
fuck anything and everybody. But here's the thing: I don't know if you were a hoe before you were wifed up, but
absolutely,
everybody's bad at sex. Is it me?
Oh,
let me know. TTYLXOX.
It's not you. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert, it's not you. When you're trying to be in your hoe era, but it's actually a no era.
It's a no era.
Yeah, big time.
Oh my God.
Hello. Thanks so much for calling in. I'm here with Stanzi Potenza.
Hi, Stanzi.
Hi, how are you?
Okay, how are y'all doing on this fine Saturday?
We're doing good.
Doing pretty good.
We're doing nice. And I'm curious about your hoe era problems. So lay it out on the table for me.
I just moved to New York City, and I got out of a pretty long-term relationship in like 2021. So this is like 2 years ago at this point.
Yeah.
I am really I'm not really trying to date right now.
Sure.
I'm just going on all of these Hinge dates and I'm trying to hoe out. But here's the thing. Like the sex is just bad. I probably had one solid good party. And I'm like, is it me? Because I don't think it is.
No,
it's not.
It's absolutely not. Well, first of all, I'll say that like when you're hooking up with random people, I kind of feel like it's a real roll of the dice. To me, like sex is so about communication that the first go is always going to be kind of like a learning moment. I don't know. Like it's so much more about like having chemistry with the person and kind of like figuring out each other's whole shtick. Also, like people are so weird out there.
I know. I went on this date. We ended up having sex, and it was actually really good. I'm hitting him again, and this is I know. I'm pretty sure, Miles, you don't have a vagina, but
no, not that I'm aware of.
I do.
Period.
Ooh, periods. Ooh, girls.
So here's the thing. I'm like, hey, we're going to come over. We had been blowing this off, like, just like as a booty call, we had established this. And I'm like, oh, by the way, I'm like ending my period. Is that okay?
Yeah.
And then they were like, absolutely the fuck not.
That's someone you shouldn't be dating. That's someone that you just should like steer away from. That's so fucking whack.
Here's the thing. That's exactly what I thought.
Yeah.
I'm talking to all my friends with vaginas, and they're like, oh no, yeah, that's really fucking weird. So I ignored that, and I went over to his place like a week later. I Ubered to his place because he's on the west side. I'm on the east side. I am not fucking with the buses.
Yeah.
I go over to his place. I Uber there. It's like $30 for an Uber. No biggie. I'm horny. We fuck. First of all, he's like,
$30 for sex?
Sign me up.
well, here's the thing. But I go back and I'm like, hey, can you Venmo me for half of these Ubers? And then he fucking ghosted me.
Well, hang on. So, I mean, I love the confidence there of, so you Ubered to someone's house for like a casual encounter and then you Venmo requested them the half for the Uber. I mean,
I didn't Venmo request them because we were both like, oh yeah, what are you doing? What are you doing? Yeah, this is going to be great. Went over there, Ubered back. And I feel like that's a pretty safe thing to be like, hey, you mind spotting me some cash for the Ubers I literally took to your house so I could fuck you?
This is so interesting. I'm out of my depth here, but I don't know. Cash flow is complicated.
I mean, if a man can't afford like $30 for a good lay,
yeah, then he's probably not worth sticking around for anyway.
Wrap it up.
That's what I'm saying.
That's a good point. Yeah.
I think I'm probably just out here fucking the wrong people.
Yeah. I mean, your ex-boyfriend and that other guy doesn't seem, I don't know, like it just requires, any relationship requires some sort of empathy and like making someone feel bad about something that's just inherently something they do organically is weird. Yeah.
Hottest thing a man can do is put a towel down, right?
But yeah, so anyways, it's rough out here, but were y'all out here like, did y'all have like hookup eras and like we're like actually having good sex?
Absolutely. I mean, here's the thing. Okay, so both me and my wife met out in the wild at a party, and both of us were very casual daters. We were like casually dating like lots of different people and enjoying that lifestyle. And then, when two casual daters meet each other, the love starts. Whoa! It was a classic rom-com moment. No, but I found that like I got more mileage and enjoyment out of people that I had seen a few times casually versus someone that I was just like, we're like two strangers in the night who don't know each other. And so like, I don't know, in a way it's like there's no stakes because it's like, I don't know. It's hard to have intimacy when there's just like, I'm never going to see you. It can be very fun, I guess, but
I guess I'm looking for it to just be fun. And I really don't think it is.
It's not, in my opinion. I had a hoe era like prior to COVID. I mean, that was kind of the like silver lining of the pandemic was that I had to choose abstinence. I had to focus on me and my career.
That's right.
Saving money on birth control.
Yeah. But that's the problem when you're kind of going on casual dates and stuff. Because you're going out with men who don't care about you feeling good necessarily. I mean, I knew that this wasn't a you problem because I was there and went out with a variety of guys, and it's weird. It's like ordering from a new restaurant on like Uber Eats or something. You're like, ooh,
this could be bad.
Could be bad. Could be amazing. But like sometimes you end up just being like, oh, wow, this is a waste of time and money.
Yeah.
And I feel really bad about myself.
No, 100%. Yeah. It's like, and I think that also speaks to like the stakes of it. Yeah. If you're just in it for some sort of casual, like fulfilling a physical need, then you might not get the like long-term sustenance that you maybe want.
I feel like you could meet it halfway in terms of like not looking for a relationship, but like rather than just hooking up with people, kind of meeting them once, hooking up with them, and kind of like, you know, finding a few people that you can kind of see casually so that you have a little bit more of like an intimate connection with them without the sort of like the commitment.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Or it's like, people that are sort of like outside of your immediate friendship circle, but you see them around. So like they're kind of vouched for by, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's why people date their friends.
That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah. Well, get out there and don't talk to your ex-boyfriend anymore. But other than that,
I'm one step ahead of you, Miles.
Thank you so much for calling in. And have fun.
Have fun.
Enjoy yourself.
I fucking love you guys. I fucking love you, Miles. I listen to all of the pods
that's very
on
sweet.
The train, and congrats to you, and tell baby Juju I said hi.
I will. I certainly will. You have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
You too. Bye.
What a fun person.
Very fun.
Very fun.
She's enjoying herself.
I love that.
No, I remember.
Good for her.
I remember it. Yeah. I mean, it's like, that's the thing about if you're in in a hoe era, the highs can be high and you're like, oh my gosh, really fun night. And then it's like the lows are just as low as the high was high.
That, that's the only good thing about like my line of work being in comedy is that I went out with some just really like wacky people and I was like, oh God, I'm going to have to I'll joke about this one day. And then I'll like make back the time and money I lost from this crazy experience. Yeah.
All right. We're going to give our friend, the college roommate boning situation, a call back one more time. And if she doesn't answer, I'm going to be devastated.
She's going to be in the car with her baby trying to take it out.
Miles, I am so sorry. I am still with this child.
Okay. Is the baby being quiet or do you need to go?
She's hanging out.
We'll be super efficient.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to be so
Awesome.
efficient.
Cool.
The baby's hanging out. Go for it.
Yes. Okay. So my issue, I'm a freshman in college and my roommate is like absolutely insane. Like she's like known like on the floor to just be like the absolute worst. Her boyfriend lives with us. They like to sleep together, obviously, in their little twin dorm bed. But sometimes, they've been realizing that like it's a little uncomfy to sleep two in a twin bed. So they actually brought a third bed into our room so that they can sleep separately sometimes, but then together sometimes. I like to call it musical beds. They play it throughout the night.
Oh, God.
Like sometimes they'll sleep together in their bed, and then sometimes like they'll sleep separately, and then they'll like kiss in the middle, like little halfway meet up, all of that good stuff. So that's really fun. Like,
how could there be room for a third bed? Is it in the middle of your two beds?
There's not. Yeah, so I have to climb on top of my desk to get in my bed if I want to get in there, but she's like so messy that I can't really even do that. So like, we're kind of out of options here. So I sleep in my car most nights.
No. Girl, no. You gotta, okay.
And like, I'm from the East Coast, so it's like 32 degrees right now.
Oh, yeah.
We are going to empower you to demolish your roommate. You need to beat the final boss that is your roommate's boyfriend.
Okay.
Where in the East Coast are you from?
I am from like the Delmarva area. So like, we're talking like Maryland, Delaware, Virginia.
Okay.
Got it. Okay, cool.
Right. Yeah, it is cold.
It's
right
fucking
now,
cold.
So you should not
Jesus. Don't be sleeping in your car.
Pretty chilly.
Now, you have a couple options here. One is you freaking bring over someone and bang them in front of your roommate. Now, I'm not saying that's a good option, but it's there. Okay.
It also could go the opposite direction.
They can enjoy that. Yeah. You don't want to make them too horny. Okay.
I'm too horny now.
I have slept in my bed. Like, this is another thing, but like when I go home on the weekends, I've started like placing things under my covers to see if they move, and they do. Like, I think they're also sleeping in my bed.
Okay.
No.
Now let me tell you what, and I hate to say this, okay? You might have to get the RA involved.
Yeah.
He's right next to my room.
Yeah, you could do vigilante justice here, but also like this guy, the boyfriend thing. It's also like, are you on good terms with your roommate? Does she know that you're annoyed by this, or are you sort of being extra polite?
I'm like a super people pleaser, and also the thing is she's like super spoiled and privileged, and like she doesn't think she's doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
And like never has. Like there's this like story on my floor that's like very well known where this is like super gross. In the middle of the night, she like threw up in a trash can in our room and just like kind of like left it there. And then in the morning, she was like, I'm going to go take it out. And I was like, that's great. Like, I feel disgusting. So I'm going to go take a shower. So in my shower, there's like 5 people in this communal bathroom, and they're banging coming from my shower door. I'm like, what is going on? And I hear her voice, and she's like, you need to open up the shower. And I was like, why? Mind you, there's like so many people in here. I'm just like taking my shower, trying to like do as I please. And she's like, you need to open up the door. And I was like, you have to tell me why. And she said, open the door. So I open up the door, and she hands me her trash can of throw up and closes the door and is like, wash it out.
That is illegal for me to hear.
That was criminal.
It also has been like going through my mail. Like, there's so many things. Like, I promise you, it's never ending.
No, okay, you got to stand up to this person. This is a fucking user.
Being a people pleaser will never work in your favor.
100%.
You'll never get like a good outcome from it. And it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's an uncomfortable hurdle to get over, but you gotta tell someone about that because, oh my God, that's so not okay. I feel violently angry on your behalf.
Yeah, that sucks ass. And like, you have to just be like, hey, look, by the way, this is my room. This is my stuff. Your boyfriend can't sleep in here anymore. Like, you just need to say that shit, and it's going to be uncomfortable, but it's already uncomfortable for you. And you're trying to like give her the benefit of the doubt, but you just need to fucking take control of the situation. And I'm sorry that you have to do that because it sucks, but you do.
Sorry, baby's laughing. I guess at me. That's fine.
Baby's looking at your situation, and he's like,
That's what you get for being a people pleaser.
you don't have to be mean to confront someone. And in fact, sometimes the best way to do it is to just clearly state what you need in a nice way. Just be like, hey, how's it going? Like, I haven't been able to get much sleep. And so I just need your boyfriend's bed to be out of here. Like, half the room's really mine. But you guys can hang out when you're in here. But at a certain point, I need to go to bed. You don't have to have a sort of like Final Fantasy style battle where you're like, get him out of my room and have like a big confrontation moment. Because I think that's what this type of person, people who take advantage are expecting that. And what they're not expecting is for you to just be like, hey, you move your stuff. Like, I know. Like, and she might yell at you and whatever. And you're just like, I know. But like, look, it's my room too. And if you kind of show her empathy while also being like, you need to fucking cut this out, that might work a little bit better for you.
Yeah.
I think the hardest part is having to stand up for yourself.
That's really hard.
It's uncomfortable, but as soon as you learn how to do it, you'll realize like how much easier life is when you're able to like stand up for yourself and say what you need from people and tell them your boundaries. Life will be so much easier. Yeah,
absolutely.
I'm known like by all my friends as like the biggest people pleaser like you'll ever meet. And like I just like don't want to make anyone upset. Which is like so funny because I'm like sleeping in my car at night. It's like 31 degrees and I'm like, I don't want to upset her.
No, that sucks.
But like, no, like that's good advice. Like I should probably like stand up for myself a little bit.
And you're in your right to. Like, and by the way, I think everyone should stand up for their needs, whether or not they're kind of right or not. I'm a fan of the people. But it's like for, in this situation, she's obviously taking advantage of you. So you have every right to be like pissed about it.
And you have two people here who are telling you that you are in the right to stand up for yourself.
Yeah, that's right.
Other people on your floor know that she is crazy. So you are absolutely in the right to go and address this. And you should not be no sleeping in your car anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. No sleeping in your car anymore. Scold.
If you're a people pleaser, please us by standing up for yourself and not sleeping in your car anymore.
Oh my God, that's like the best way to get me. My friends are always like, they'll like do the same exact thing, and they're like, we're saying it because like we know how to get you to do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna really need you to do this. Yeah.
Yeah, it would really please me. As a person, if you stood up for yourself and had boundaries, and didn't sleep in your car anymore, I would be very pleased by that.
Big time.
Okay.
So you're gonna have to please Stanzi.
Yes.
This is a fucking nightmare. Also, tell the RA if it's getting really weird. Because you should never sleep in your car, especially when you're paying for room and board.
Yes.
Yeah. True. Yeah. Yeah, my parents don't know about that one. If they did, it would be a different story.
Yeah.
They'd be upset about that.
Yes, they would.
Thank you so much for calling in. I'm sorry that your situation's a nightmare. Also, you're hanging out with that baby, and that's great.
Yeah, thank you for hyping me up enough to be able to confront her, and thank you for calling me back. Baby says hi. She's actually like 1.5, like full-blown toddler, so she's just like sprinting around here.
Oh, that's so cute. My baby can't walk yet, but he can smile, and he's about to learn how to laugh. I know. Can you believe that? Doesn't even speak English. Yeah, it's like, well, thanks for calling in. You have a fantastic day, and demolish your roommate.
So
Good luck.
Good luck.
I will. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Yikes.
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I've never had a roommate. I made sure. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Did you go to school, college or no?
I did, but we didn't have dorms at the time. There are dorms there now, but it was a commuter school. So my roommate was my mom and her boyfriend.
Nice. Very nice. Yeah. No, I had a roommate in college for a little bit. And at one point he did tell me to go. He was like, you should go to bed. I was like, I don't think you can tell me to do that, right?
Don't tell me what to do.
Don't talk dirty to me.
Yeah, you're like,
to go to bed. I love it.
Okay.
Giggling.
Sure.
Yeah, no, that was like as weird as it. Yeah, he was just like, you should go to bed. Although one time I did come in and him and this girl had just finished having sex and they were asleep. And it was in the middle of the day.
Wow.
And I was like, I mean, a risky move for sure.
I couldn't deal with the a new part, like you're just living together and like, I'm like, that seems like a whole thing that I don't want to.
I don't know. Yeah, the same room bit is, because I've had roommates like it later, but it's just same room is tough.
Same room.
Yeah.
Like they're living like the grandparents from Willy Wonka right now.
Yeah, like, Charlie's fucking weird grandparents who can't stand up.
We need to get that girl a golden ticket.
Yeah.
Yeah, out of that room. Jeez.
Yeah. Well, Stanzi, before we get to the final segment, do you have any problems that you need solving in your life recently?
Oh my God.
You just moved here, new city, new you.
Yeah, well, I guess that's probably it. I need to know who to get my hair done by.
I actually do have a hair guy. He's really good.
Oh, great. Yeah. Problem solved.
And I know when most dudes say they have a hair guy, it's like somebody that like
it's their mother.
Yeah, it's like their mother or like some weirdo who does it for $2.
It is always this janky. Random,
behind the Circuit City.
I'm like, yeah, my ex went to this place. It was like called like Fantastic Sam's, and it was like it was like 50 cents, and I'm like, where, like, what are you doing? And every time he left, he would be like, I don't really like it. I'm like, you keep going back. You go back every time, and you hate it.
Yeah,
it's all that is true. It's a very silly thing, but yeah, I don't think I have any. I'm just so perfect.
I love that.
That I don't have
honestly, insane, by the way.
Real problems right now, you know?
Yeah, I operate in my life and I just sort of go on full blast all the time.
I'm just like, oh, this was just meant to happen.
Yeah.
I'm manifesting.
Things fall into my lap. Well, that brings us to our final segment, a segment we like to call Get Real. Now, Stanzi, this is a segment where we force a genuine moment in an effort to learn more about each other and ourselves.
Oh, God. Okay.
We're about to get real. Not to be confused with Be Real, because the segment predates Be Real by like a month.
Good for you.
Thanks.
You're the OG.
I was the original Be Real. Anyway, I appreciate you being on the show today. You talk a lot about mental health and stuff and a lot of your content, and I'm wondering if you've had any discoveries about your own mental health in the last year or so. Anything that you're like, oh, this is something that's working better for me, or something you've noticed about yourself? Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, actually. This past year was pretty crazy because it was like my first year living out of state, living on my own.
Sure.
And I think having space kind of from my family and my like living situation, I was living in Massachusetts for years. I realized that like I had gone to therapy for years, and I think that being out of therapy, I think the real progress from like going to therapy is not something you see until like years later.
Yeah,
like you don't realize how much it's impacted you. And having like a year away kind of made me realize like I started looking back at like old like I started looking back at like situations from like my childhood and no longer looking at myself as like a victim in certain situations, and then being able to empathize with like other people in my life and how my actions, even though like I was a hurt person, I was valid in the way that I felt, but how that then affected those around me and how other people probably struggled. So I was able to kind of like talk to like my younger sister recently, being like, I'm sorry I wasn't a better older sister. Yeah. Like, you know, I know like I was going through stuff, but like because of that, you didn't have like, you know, a good older sibling like looking out for you. So I think just kind of, I've been a lot more open and honest about how I'm feeling and like telling people when they do things that like affect me in a bad way.
Totally.
So yeah.
That's great.
Thanks.
No, I think that. No, I think that's valid. I honestly feel like I haven't been to therapy in a little while, and I feel like I need a refresher. I felt like I mean, my life is just so different than when I was in therapy in New York. That was like around 5-ish years ago. And I felt like that really brought me like to the next level. And it's like, my life's so different now. My job's different. I like have a wife and a baby. I feel like I need to go back so I can like unload some of that stuff to be like, here's all this new stuff. Tell me what to do with it.
Yeah.
And then give me language to move on to other stuff. But no, I think about that all the time where it's, I always am surprised by how cliched stuff really applies to my life. And I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
It is the friends I make along the way. Or like,
it really, yeah. Yeah. I think going off of that a little bit, I've seen so many people talking recently about like not feeling like they have friends.
Oh yeah.
And I felt like that probably for a little while. And then more recently within like this year really like made like a real group of friends.
Yeah.
People who are doing similar things that I'm doing and like who like genuinely care about your well-being and stuff, which is like crazy. But, you know, even like it's not as easy to make friends when you get to be like our age in, you know, in adulthood, but it's possible. And I think that especially when you're a healed person, you're gonna meet people that like actually fit into your life, and you're not feeling like you have to force people that are just in close proximity with you to like be in your social groups. You'll meet better people for you. Yeah,
no, I think that it's like you have to know yourself to make friends that know you. Like, you have to like be aware of like what your needs are so you can meet people that are like you in that way. I know that I feel very lucky all the time in LA, partially because of my wife, because she's been in LA for a lot longer than me. She knew so many people, and now all those people are like close with me, and we have a big community of people that I really love. And I feel very lucky about that, because I think you're right though. A lot of people don't feel like they have friends, and a lot of people, I think especially in digital media, if you work for yourself and you don't necessarily have peers, a lot of people struggle to make friends, especially if they don't live in big metropolitan areas where there's like other people doing the same things that they're doing.
Friendship, it's so important. Yay.
Stanzi, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Well, tell me where people can find you. Tell the audience a little bit about what you do so they can check you out. Yeah,
I am a content creator and comedian. So you can find me on all of the socials at Stanzi Potenza is my handle on
great name,
everything.
By the way.
Thank you. My mom came up with it. It's Stanzi Potenza on all social media, and I have a podcast called What Fresh Hell Is This? And you can find that on all streaming platforms, and we have the video format on YouTube, and keep an eye out on my website for tour dates, because I will be doing comedy shows.
Yeah.
Woo!
And I saw that you have a video on Spotify as well.
Oh, do we?
Oh my. Your team must have set it up.
My team. Yeah, my team. They just do everything, and I don't even I don't even wake up most days.
They just do an AI voice and deepfake thing.
Yeah, eventually they just substitute.
They just use your image and likeness for everything. It was a pleasure to have you on. And audience, remember that perfection, no matter what your struggles are, perfection is only a call away.
Yeah, it is.
That was a Headgum podcast.